Go.
Welcome back to WPYC. Who popped your culture?
Yeah, we're back.
Another day, another dollar, another month, another episode.
A day late, a dollar short.
Yeah, maybe.
One of my favorite phrases of all time.
We're back with somewhat of an extension of last month's episode.
Yeah, with the summer months, it gets harder to do these, honestly. Like anything else, summertime, you're outside more, you're not inside. And a lot of ours is watching movies. So you're kind of confined to late night viewing, or for you, maybe morning, with your job. Or even when you get off work, you might catch something. Like last night,
Right.
I was like, shit, I'd already watched a bunch, but I was like, I want to go back for a second viewing of a couple, really tighten up my list.
Right.
So it gets difficult.
So with the way that I look at it is that for July, July is probably your biggest vacation month. I'd say that on average.
Right.
Across the country.
I would
July's
agree, 100%.
probably the biggest vacation month for travel, beaches, all that stuff.
Well, you were gone. You were gone for a week.
I was.
That kind of hemmed us up a little bit. And then
it did.
Last week I was lazy, so I'm like, fuck it, let's wait till the last day.
The last possible
day. Last day. Because we always said we will get it out on the last day of the month. Today is the
minimal
last day
editing.
Of the month. I'm like, let's keep it as clean as possible. Not necessarily like language-wise. Fuck that. Language is still there, but like just not as much choppy pee.
So you don't have to do anything. Yeah.
Right.
Which
is always a plus if I don't have to do anything.
Of course. And then so the thing with the summertime movies and stuff like that, honestly, it's the movies that I watch at the end of the winter to get me hyped up about the summer.
So you're more of an opposite season guy.
Kinda. Like that's like,
does that mean you watch Christmas Vacation in July?
No.
I mean, I would.
It's what I mean by like late spring or not late spring, late winter is that I'm absolutely sick to death of the snow and the cold.
Gotcha.
And I just need an hour and a half.
So you're talking like January, February.
Well, here I'm talking like March, April.
Yeah,
so it's like technically spring, but it's still winter here.
Yeah.
And I'm sick to death of the winter weather. So I need to escape for 90 minutes and kind of remind myself what I'm going to have available to me in a couple of months.
That's kind of like how, the last 10 years or so, we've always talked about within our family, like, hey, instead of like doing a bunch of gifts and stuff, like, let's just rent like a beach house in Florida for Christmas week. Like just to get out of the fucking cold bullshit.
Yeah.
Which would be nice. I think one of these, maybe when the kids are older.
Yeah.
Maybe when they have kids, we'll probably do that.
Or you can just get like when little T's, when he starts getting involved or getting interested in girls in his teen years, you could definitely dangle that carrot.
Yeah.
Let's go to the beach, buddy.
Santa's gonna bring you some chicks.
Let's go to the beach, pal.
Or guys, whatever he's into.
Not that there's anything wrong with this is for you.
Yeah, this is all for you. I don't care about sitting on the beach in December. Come on, man.
Yeah. So anyway, we talked about it a little bit last month. We delved into it because that was more of your experience with the summer trips and stuff like that.
Yeah,
going to Jersey. I was there. I went there myself, and but like there was.
Hey, real quick before you carry on, where can they go to get Who Popped Your Culture merchandise?
Well, there's this fancy little site called mudamerch.com, mudamerch.com, where you can get the shirt that I haven't made yet for this episode.
Because like, far behind.
Oh, dude, this month
it's been bad.
I mean, You could always go grab yourself a Baja Maniac shirt. It's pretty
Yeah, shout
beachy.
out to the Bahamas because we're still charting pretty decent down there.
Shout out to the Baja Maniacs.
We love you. Grab some
Also,
merch.
go buy a shirt. I made it for you. Yeah, so you touched on your experiences at the Jersey Shore.
Mhm.
I was mired in the camp life last month, but I have my own similar similar experiences. I'm from
Yeah,
the
I want
East
to hear
Coast,
about them.
but we didn't go we never went. I didn't hit California. I never saw the Pacific Ocean until like 5 years ago. Everything was Atlantic, so it would be either Jones Beach on Long Island.
Yeah. Did you ever go to any concerts on Jones Beach?
No.
No.
My family's a bunch of squares. Like we didn't do fun shit like
I just
that.
always see Jones Beach on on tour itineraries.
Dude, that amphitheater is awesome.
Yeah.
The stage is on the water.
Yeah.
It's cool as shit.
I saw Kiss the night after they did Jones Beach in 2004. When they played in Scranton, PA. But yeah, we didn't go to the beach, but I would have liked to. I'd like to go to a concert on the beach. I think that would be cool.
It would be fun. And especially, it's the East Coast, so you're not getting the sunset behind you. That would be pretty cool, honestly. If you had the band playing on the water and then the sunset going on behind them.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Anyway,
so Jones Beach, Seaside Heights,
shout out.
Yep.
Seaside.
Always tried to tag along with my buddies to go to Cape May, but then Myrtle Beach was a big one. Florida. I was born in Jacksonville, so it's, we were on that.
I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah, originally a Floridian, which probably explains.
Maybe I did early on. We've known each other for a few years now, so shit starts to blend together, and we're usually pretty liquored up when we talk about stuff like that.
It's not uncommon for us to be imbibing mind-altering substances. So,
yeah, we did Myrtle Beach for a few years. We lived in South Carolina for a couple of years, and we'd go to Myrtle Beach. That's a cool spot, and we talked about it.
Beach.
Yeah,
I love Myrtle Beach, dude, because it's like
it's the Seaside Heights of the South. I think.
Yes. Exactly.
Pretty trashy.
Exactly. It's so trashy, and I love every second of it.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
And I'll tell you, it's because it's you're not the hoity-toity is not like people aren't there. This is budget vacation spot. And it's you just going up and down. I can't remember the name of the highway now, but that main highway that just runs up and down the gut of Myrtle Beach. Just loaded up with wings and eagles and all those beachwear stores that it's like everything is under $6.
Yeah,
like,
that's America.
Horrible cheap Chinese crap that will likely unravel the second you get it wet. Like you can smell the pesticide on the Fun Noodles. And damn well that if you catch the wrong wave, that boogie board's going down. Like I love it. And to me, I don't know, those stores encapsulate the feeling of Myrtle Beach. Like it's just everything's cheap and kind of like even the stores, even though there's no actual, like they smell like chlorine. Whether it's from people like pool people coming to the store or because they gotta sanitize everything.
I think it's the latter. I think they sanitize with chlorine because they just have it laying around,
Yeah. But yeah, man, it was just a big thing. That was it. My parents bought a condo at the shitty little condo complex right on the beach, and that was it. That's all we did, like every year. This is like why go anywhere else? Like we did. I mean, man, I told you my parents are squares. They're like they own timeshare too in Orlando. Like fucking like they bought into all of the bullshit.
Yeah, my dad's got one in Mexico now, and he was trying to pawn it off on me one time last year, and I was like, dude, I don't have enough money to even fucking consider going, let alone. He's like, well, you'll have a place to stay. I'm like, yeah, but you got to fly down there.
Right.
You know, you gotta eat.
Yeah.
I'm not staying in a resort for a week.
It
I got to branch out, baby.
right. And it just it's so yeah, they took on these probably ill-advised real estate decisions
Mm.
at bad times and shit like that too. So it's like, make it even worse. But we were always down there, and like we had a blast too, just because like especially once we started hitting, you know, the teen years. I'll tell you this: it was boring as fuck when we were young.
When you're a
Like
kid,
when we were little.
yeah.
Like
You
I
don't
mean,
give
the
a
beach
fuck.
was great. Beach was great and
You'd
fun and
rather
stuff
be at
like that.
home.
But when the teen years hit, that was when we were able to start essentially just like disappearing. Like we'd all go down to the beach, and then I wouldn't see my family again for 5 hours.
Yeah,
And I'd just go chasing girls and making friends.
that's what it's about.
And it is, and it's that's the summertime fucking like. I want to believe that that's how it used to be a lot of the times. Like when you get that you had families with cabins and lake houses and shit like that, where like the day after school was over, the family was in the car.
Yeah.
And you were up at that lake house for 2.5 months. And you
Yeah,
you didn't come back until school started again. So you got to go. You got your school friends, you got your hometown friends, and then you fuck off to the lake, and then you got a whole new circle.
Yeah.
You know, and it's people that did the same exact thing. So, you know, it's it. You've got it like this whole new circle of friends that you're not going to see again after 2.5 months for another year.
Yeah. And like you said, like, I mean, if you're doing the same vacation every summer, you're going, you've got your local people, and then and you're counting down probably.
Right.
April.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
especially you get like a month
couple
out.
Of months.
You got a month out. You see your
friends.
summertime girlfriend.
Yeah.
Then you get there and you find out she's got a new summertime boyfriend. Yeah. Breaks your goddamn heart. Just sit there kicking rocks next to the beach. Hang your head in shame. What have I done?
Some new chick comes to town. Then some old man kicked the bucket and they inherited the summer house.
Yep. She's got a belly button ring, so she's definitely gonna put out.
She's got a butterfly tattoo, tramp stamp.
She's not even 18 yet. It's a 13-year-old boy's dream.
Yep.
But yeah, man, like it's Americana at its finest. You know, like I know it's not just exclusively an American thing to go on vacations into the countryside.
But people here love vacation.
Really do.
Holy shit, man.
It's part of the American dream.
We've got a couple of people on Facebook, and it's like once like it seems spring break here, which is like usually around St. Patty's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Starting spring break, we have multiple people on Facebook that go on like 5 vacations between then and the end of summer. And I'm like,
must be nice.
What the fuck? Like, are you working like 24 hours a day? How many jobs do you have? And how do you like coincide all that time off with 4 jobs? But like, you know, back in the day, back when we were growing up, you know, dad was working weekends, long hours, maybe a side job, just to be able to afford to go. And now we got people that can take multiple fucking vacations and constantly post fucking pictures. I'm like, oh, if I see one more picture of the beach and I'm not on it, or I'm not in the picture, fuck off. Like, I've seen enough. I started muting people.
Yeah,
I can't take it anymore. I love the summertime. I love vacations when I can afford it.
It's tough, man.
But if I'm not getting one, like, don't rub it in my face. Don't rub it in my face. And then when you do take one, like every 10 years, like I do, it's like, oh, I get paid me. It must be nice to be on the beach. Like, yeah, you go every year.
Right. Multiple times.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah. I haven't been on a proper beach in
Tommy was in diapers the last time when we went to Florida the last time. and he's gonna be 10.
The last time I saw the beach was the Gulf Shores,
That's
Alabama.
not a bad trip.
Um,
Much as I don't like that state.
problem was that we shot down there from Talladega
Yeah.
and back same day.
Oof.
So yeah, we got up.
Where'd you go to the race?
At the ass crack of dawn. Race down there, got like 4 hours at the beach, and then fucking like slogged back to Talladega.
Oof.
It was brutal. That was the last time I was on a proper beach, like a proper oceanside beach. I haven't been to Myrtle Beach in probably 20 years.
Yeah.
Haven't been to Orlando anywhere near there as well.
It's probably
I think the last time I was in Orlando, I was like 16. We used to go. There was a minute there where my parents were. I will say that there was like they pushed. They got us down to Universal Studios like 3 times in like 4 years, and it was yeah, that was we at the Islands of Adventure like all day. It was awesome. All day, every day. That place was great. We had a good time there.
My first proper vacation, like traveling wise, was I graduated and my dad bought us all a trip to Cancun. So I was here, so I had to fly from here and meet them in Cancun. Didn't speak any Spanish. Never been out of the country proper. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I went through customs. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how to speak Spanish. I don't even know what resort we're staying at. So I walk out of the airport, see the beer cart. I'm 18. I know it's legal there. So I'm pounding beers. Took them another hour to get in, which I will give them credit. They did pretty well on the spacing out of the planes landing and everything. But that week was a lot of drinking, possibly the most drinking I've ever done in my life.
As you do. I mean, that's part of vacation.
Me and my brother got a lot of shit for it.
That is to me, that is like my personal opinion. It's just generic opinion on vacations. It's literally going someplace new, and it's just literally or eating, drinking, and fucking in new places. like that's it. Maybe you see the sights, the local offerings or whatever.
Yeah,
but like it's otherwise those other 3. Like that's it. It's like you are removing yourself from your normal everyday life, putting yourself someplace that you either hardly go or never go or have never been before, whatever. And then and just eating horribly, drinking too much, and sneaking away for a romp like every chance you get.
Yeah, my biggest pet peeve of vacation is when you go with other people and they want to hit like the real touristy spots.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that. Stuff. I want to do the most off the beaten path shit. Like if we rent like jet skis for the day or something, that's cool. Or like parasailing, that's fun. But like I don't want to see sights.
Like it's weird. I remember
especially when I'm on the beach. I don't care to see the town sights.
It's trying to remember. Because there isn't a whole lot in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I mean it's really not
to be tourist. Like I mean, it's like because everybody there is a tourist,
right?
But it's it's golf, mini golf, barefoot landing, and the beach.
Yeah, couple of little shops here and there, maybe. But
I mean, well, there's a whole boardwalk.
Yeah,
on at Myrtle Beach. Like so, like you've got there. That's just like essentially that is literally your Seaside Heights of the South.
Yeah, but you're not going to see like landmarks.
No, there's no landmarks. It's swamp land and golf course.
You know what you're nothing there when you go. What's your stance on like chain restaurants when you're on vacation at the beach?
Well, it's for dinner, okay.
For dinner, okay.
But lunch, I think the lunch should be probably like
grab and go.
Try and find the mom and pops.
Yeah.
Like it's just easier to do that, and you never know, because also like the dinner time, you're talking, more substantial meals or whatever. And
Yeah.
I don't know, but also I haven't been to fucking Myrtle Beach in 20 years, so I have no idea what's over there.
I say that as somebody who went to when we were in Cancun, we went to Hard Rock Cafe,
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
a
are you
nice
talking
spot.
about that kind of change?
Yeah. I'm talking
Fuck those.
Yeah.
Fuck those hard. No
Now,
Hard Rocks. No,
in my opinion, would I never go there on my own? But with other people, you don't really have a say.
right.
We did Hard Rock Cafe one night, and then another night we did Rainforest Cafe, which is so white trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a Rainforest Cafe in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
It didn't last very long.
There's not many left. I think there's like 13 left, maybe.
But yeah, those, as far as those the tourist restaurants, there's one in Denver that I've been to way more than I ever wanted to. Mind you, we just drank there.
Yeah.
But it's
drinking's
still
different
yeah.
because especially if you're trying to kind of keep it on a budget.
Yeah.
I'll go into an Applebee's for beers.
I was gonna say Chili's, buy one get one Wells.
Yeah.
Yeah, babe.
Yeah, I'm in.
We're doing it's slightly watered down drink.
I can get 2 beers for $4 instead of paying $5, $6, $7 for a Miami Vice on the beach. Sure. Sign me up.
Yeah. Give me 2 Bud Lights for $4.
Yeah.
Or rum and cokes for $4 or whatever. It's just like it's those that's fine. That's fine. But as far as what do you, because for real, if you go to a Hard Rock Cafe, what are you getting in that Hard Rock that you're not getting in literally every other fucking Hard Rock? Nothing.
Right.
They're the same.
Some if they have like a decent number of shit on the wall.
But it's still all the same. It's just guitars with a plaque. And then you go to the next fucking Hard Rock, and then funnily enough, they've got the same guitar with the same plaque. I'm like, so what you're telling me here is,
I was bitching about it at the beginning, and then I'm playing devil's advocate.
It's just those places suck.
Yeah.
I'll give you like Hooters fine.
Yeah.
Go to, if you want to, I know, because I know there's a fair amount of people who if they go to a place and there's a Hooters there, they gotta go. They gotta it's like they gotta.
You want to get the shirt with the city name on it. Yeah,
check it off.
I guess that's kind of the same with Hard Rock. Hard Rock was big when I was in like junior high school.
Well, yeah,
big to have the Hard Rock shirts.
I remember those days. It was dark times. It was dark times.
It was that
man. The 90s were so boring.
Yeah, that like Planet Hollywood shit like that.
The Planet Hollywood, that just cracked me up though. Just like the storied history.
Oh yeah,
of Planet Hollywood.
That's a good wormhole to go down.
I don't even know all that much about it. I just know that it's fucking defunct now. I think
it was Arnold, Sylvester Stallone, and Bruce Willis. There might be 2. I'm pretty sure New York and the one in Vegas is still open, I think.
I think I'd go to the Planet Hollywood just to say that I've been to one.
Yeah. The one in New York's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like the Terminator 2 motorcycle, one of the endoskeletons, and then
nice.
They have the TV screen from Nightmare 3.
Oh,
welcome
cool.
to prime time, bitch. Yeah. They have that TV in there. It's pretty neat. With the Freddy head on top.
Yep.
Yeah, and the chick's body coming out.
That's pretty cool.
And then they have like the handprints of people.
I
remember walking in one time and saw Joe Pesci's hand on the wall. And I was like, I gotta see, because I'm a short guy too. So I'm like, I want to see. Dude, my hand was like a fucking monster hand compared to his. I was like, holy shit.
He's a little guy.
Yeah, but I still wouldn't fuck with him.
Oh no, hell no.
I did see his Jersey Beach house got sold.
Oh no shit.
Mm-hmm. Or it's on the market. One of the two. Might be on the market. I think you wanted like 2.1 mil for it. A little out of my price range. But
yep. Yeah.
Like I feel like we would have to have like a gaggle of like investors.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As far as like us in our group goes, we'd probably have to, like, every single one of us.
Yeah.
with a pretty significant down payment in order to get anybody to sign off on it.
You know, with our small little group of people that we talk to together, anyways,
Mhm.
I'd like to get like a median on credit scores.
I'm probably on the lower end of that. That's for sure.
Mine's going up, but I feel like I am too.
I'm on like the high end of the low,
Yeah,
like the lowest acceptable
or
score.
lower
I'm on like
class.
the
I'm
high
upper
end of
lower
that.
class.
I'm like scratching the glass, like the glass ceiling between the just status quo good credit score.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm just a cunt hair underneath it. Like
All right. So we're
But,
closing in. What? How much time?
about 45 minutes left.
Okay. You wanna finish up and then get into the movies?
Yeah, and yeah, it's just ultimately in summation or
And
whatever.
I'm leaving that in. I'm not even gonna cut that out.
Fuck it. Yeah, it's just a an American pastime that we've all or that you and I have enjoyed throughout our
Mhm.
lives. Just going to trashy little beaches and trashy little towns and
Yeah.
making the best of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
it's some of the best times I've had. Personally, I enjoy a nice trashy vacation,
yeah,
especially if you're close by. Like if you're not having to like being in Arkansas, like going to Florida, that's a pain in the ass.
yep,
You gotta rent a place to stay. Then you gotta like, okay, we're in the car. So that's, typically you can do it in a day, but chances are, especially with kids, you're gonna have to stop and get a hotel. And then that's the same on the way back. So you're 4 days in the car basically. And then you've got 3 days to 10 days, depending on how long you're staying. Which if I can get the 2 weeker, car is the way to go.
Mhm.
1 week, you gotta go by plane.
Yep,
And especially now, like now we got Uber. Like back in the day, like not all those places had cabs.
right.
So you had if you were flying somewhere, you had to rent a car.
Mhm.
And that's another expense. But chime in. Like I want to hear some stories. I want to hear people's summer vacation stories.
Yeah, I
I
remember
feel like this podcast is a vacation, so we kind of like blend together when we just like shooting the shit. We kind of
yeah,
blend together a lot of stories that and some that we've probably already told multiple times
right. And
in
it,
episode 7.
it's funny. What's funny is how I found that we have a lot of overlapping
Yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
like similar experiences.
It's the ones that stand out.
It is, but it's still it's still probably just the region,
Yeah. And we're older.
right. But
We don't remember every little minute detail of every time we got in a car to go somewhere.
and it reminds me of like we brought it up in the last one we talked about it the last one, and it's in every movie. The formula for the summer vacation romantic comedy or romance or whatever.
Nice segue.
Like it is it's just part of the formula. Just
Yeah.
drop it in and it's always there. But and it always happened. You know what I mean? You go
Couple
away.
of movies on the list, probably.
Oh,
There's
definitely.
sailboats involved.
Yeah. But like the whatever Rusty's towny girlfriend there in Great Outdoors.
Yeah.
That was the progenitor for me.
Did you
and it
count
was
Great
always
Outdoors as a beach
there.
movie? I did not.
No,
That was that I
it's
counted
not.
that more of a camp
Yeah.
than a beach.
It
Okay.
was. I mean,
it was
to
on
be-
our list.
to be perfectly honest with you, it probably should have been in this episode, but we didn't know we were doing this episode
That's
when
true.
we did that one.
I don't know though, but
it kind of rode the line there
yeah, but it's
because it was a lake house movie.
yeah, but I consider lake beaches and ocean beaches different.
I mean, it's fair, and and it was in the Midwest,
Yeah.
so it was like cooler. I don't know
Yeah.
if they were like, I can't remember like what time of year it was supposed to be, because I know
Right
they were only there
outdoors?
for yeah. Because I mean, there's a lot of sweaters and shit like that. Like it's cooler. It's not.
Yeah,
It is
but
not
isn't
a
it? Wasn't it like Wisconsin or
probably
one of the, one of those?
considering
They were
where all
Chicago.
of their
Yeah.
movies, all those guys' movies take place. It was probably, either Northern Illinois or Wisconsin or any of
Yeah.
those, like in that general vicinity.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't consider it. It could have been on both lists, but
Like I would make
it's
an
the camp. It's
exception
on the
just
camp
because
movie.
it's a great movie.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
If that's on somebody's that's listening or watching's list,
Yeah.
I'll
allow it. Yeah.
but that's probably the only one as far as like a lake beach movie, because lakes do have beaches.
I have another one, but we'll get into it because it's. I mean, my list is
Speaking of beaches, did the movie Beaches make your list?
no, absolutely not.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
I have so many honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Because I just started like, I'm like, this one, and then this one. What about this one? Holy shit, this one.
I kept it tight. I was like, I'm just gonna pick a solid 5. And I'm because there's so much.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to narrow it down. What are the top 5 that I've probably seen the most and could watch multiple times? Which is a lot.
Because it's another thing too is that like we've got there's a massive, it's not a massive disparity. It's I mean, especially if we go back to the 80s, the beach movie had like, it took on many different forms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was like
there's a lot of movies that like the beach isn't really the focal point. Like there's a couple of scenes on the beach, but it's not really part of the story.
And to be fair, it's not necessarily about the like, this whole theme isn't just beaches. It's summer vacation in general.
Right.
It just so happens that the beach is the feature, or at the very least the location for a lot of summer vacation.
So do you have any on your list that are non-beaches? Because I stuck 2 beaches.
No, the beach is in every single one of them.
Okay.
Or well, there's one that's kind of but
because I mean, like I thought about throwing in like the vacation movies, but I feel like vacation movies will get their own episode down the road.
Probably.
Because that's a big one for me.
I have the first one on the overall long list.
Okay.
Because it is like that's like just like we were talking about. Get everybody in the car. We had a Chevy conversion van because I am one of 5 siblings. So it would be my parents and my 4 brothers and sisters. And we'd hop in the conversion van. We'd throw in a VHS tape that was likely going to get played 5 times on the way down.
Those were the days though, for real. The vans with the VCR in it.
And it was and it's where I think it's where I get my propensity to drive, to push through.
Yeah.
Probably a debilitating level of fatigue. Because we would leave late in the day to avoid all traffic. We'd like leave at like 6:30 or 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And
we always leave at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, my mother would start, and she was an early riser, so she would start the first like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, the first leg.
Right. And then my stepdad would hop in the seat, and he would just like
eat up like 12 hours.
Coffees and whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, this is pre-energy drinks, kids.
Right. Yeah. So he just, drinking coffees and fucking, sodas, whatever. Just
popping
any little
trucker pills, yellow jackets.
Any morsel of caffeine that he could get his hands on, and he'd just push through the night, and we'd get there usually around 4 or 5 in the morning. Because I mean, from where we were, Myrtle Beach, I think was 10 hours, 10,
Yeah.
12 hours.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, I mean, and we just pushed through straight through the night. And then like, yeah, we the three older kids would be on the back seat that turns into a bed, all
Yeah.
passed out. And
Put the older ones in the back because they're the ones that are
younger
going to get on your fucking nerves.
the younger siblings, one of them was in a car seat for the first couple of years, and then the other one, yeah, they just put the small kids up front because they were going to be the ones that needed tending to.
Right.
But yeah,
especially the one in the car seat. Yeah.
So vacation, it may not take place at a beach, but it's like it reminded me when we used to go to the beach.
Yeah. So one more question before we jump in the movies, and I think this is a good question. Did you guys ever have a family dog that would go on vacation with you?
No, we never took.
Absolutely not.
We never took.
That seems like the biggest pain in the ass. When I see people traveling with a dog,
yeah,
I'm just like, how many times do you have to pull over to let that dog throw up or shit?
Depending, like with the size of my family, it would have been untenable.
Yeah,
because we'd already packed that fucking van to the gills.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Every dog that I've ever had has always had like stomach issues, like in a vehicle, like even just like taking it to if you go to the vet, or whatever. And it's like when we went on vacation, we had our dog. We had to drop off at my mom's, because I'm not going to leave a dog here, by itself for 2 weeks. And it's a little further out, so driving back and forth multiple times a day is kind of a pain in the ass for somebody to feed and take out. So I'm like, fuck it, can we just leave the dog with you? Because like I said, I'm not taking the dog. But even in that time, like throw up in the car, and then you got to stop and clean that out, and it's already pushed the vacation time back. You're like, what are we doing? Like, let's just go home. 15 minutes in, I'm ready to go. But that's me.
No, you're absolutely right though. It's not, it adds a certain level to it. And even if we had it, like we didn't have a dog until way later.
Yeah.
Until a lot of us were already starting to move, like leave the house. But yeah, there's no way, because he was a big dog. So it would have been even worse.
And I asked that because a lot of these movies, there are dogs involved.
Yeah. Yeah. They all got the family dog with them, which is weird to me.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start? How do you want to do
it? You can go ahead and start this one.
Okay. So coming in at number 5, this was tough, honestly, to narrow it down. But I'm trying to remember like movies I saw in the theater or movies that I owned on VHS that I watched over and over. Number 5 is definitely one of them. I saw it in the theater, I remember, and owned it on VHS like when it came out. It's Weekend at Bernie's Dose, the second one.
The second one.
Dude, it's so funny. And I watched it twice in the last month, and it is still fucking funny.
Those movies are
hilarious.
Legit. They're legit for real.
Like people like dog on them, and I'm like, no, you need to go back and watch them because they're fucking hilarious.
It's an insane concept. But
literally the actor that plays him, like he's in the first one for like all of 20 minutes alive, and then he's dead for the rest of the first one and
for the rest sequel. Of 2 movies.
Yeah, and he plays it so amazing. Like you think that they're messing with like a mannequin or something because he's so good at it.
That guy deserves awards.
He needs a lifetime achievement award at the Oscars at some point. But the second one, he's already dead. Spoiler alert. And he gets a voodoo curse on him from these guys that are trying to find this treasure that he's buried somewhere. But so anytime the music comes on and he drops back and he just starts bobbing his head, dude, I'm in the floor laughing at like 2:00 in the morning watching this movie the other night.
I don't think I've seen the second one.
Oh my god, dude, I was crying. It's fucking hilarious. Just that alone gets it on the list. And like I said, he's playing a dead man. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and he
So,
plays it perfectly.
yeah.
Like it's like you know the thing. One of the things that I love about that movie, it probably the things that I love the most about that movie, is it reminds me of Buster Keaton.
Yeah.
Like it's like the whole gimmick that they're running with is essentially either a Buster Keaton or a Charlie Chaplin movie.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
a deadpan physical comedy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It could be a
and
silent film. Yeah.
they nail it.
Yeah.
They nail it. With certainly with the first one, and as you're talking about with the second one, like I said, I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
Go back and watch the second one. It'll
I
surprise
will.
you. It's fucking hilarious.
It's still like I'll never hate on those movies.
Yeah,
They're like
a lot of people do though, and I've
a
you
lot
know
of people are
doing
idiots.
research, doing research on these. Like, I'm like looking at like forums and shit about people like it's such a stupid concept. Like, no, it's a fucking hilarious concept, and you're just overthinking it. That's the thing is like a lot of these like 80s, early 90s comedies, people overthink this shit.
Dude,
Is it realistic? No, but who gives a shit? It's funny.
Like everybody wants every movie to be Schindler's List.
Right.
You know, like
I can't, dude. Like same thing with Amanda. She's like, hey, let's sit down and watch something together. She wants to watch like serious shows or movies and stuff. I'm like, I just want something mind numbing that I can watch and not have to think about.
I
want to laugh.
I love really bleak like visual art.
Yeah.
Like I love the detective dramas and shit like that start off with the most like dire circumstances.
Yeah.
Like, essentially like people losing a kid and then they're investigating the murder of a child. And it's just like everybody's hopeless and it's just horrible over and over and over again. I love it. But I also love Weekend at fucking Bernie's. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't need to be one or the other.
And I'm not saying I don't like serious stuff. Like, I mean, my favorite movie of all time is The Godfather. So,
for sure.
I mean, and that's about as serious as it can get. And as far as like cinematic history, that's, it's number one or number two on anybody's list, depending on the person. But I personally think it's better than Citizen Kane, but that's me,
But this stuff is like, I mean, it's not, the funny thing is nobody sought out to change anybody else's life with these movies.
Right.
With the exception of the roughly 90 minutes it takes to complete them.
It's something to take your mind off of what's going on. That's the point of a lot of these movies.
That being said, I think these movies changed a lot more people's lives than any of the creators ever intended.
Yeah.
Just because they, I don't know, you remove ego.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. And you just make a fucking silly goddamn movie about a dead guy and these two jamooks who fucking or just want to ride the coattails and take his goddamn beach house or whatever for a little while. They just got to pretend like he's still alive. And it's again, it probably changed a lot of people's lives just because it was funny.
Yeah.
And they didn't think you could do a movie where the guy's just dead and they're operating him like a marionette.
So before we move on to yours, standout scene, Weekend Bernie's 2. Girl and guy are at like a whatever kind of party, luau kind of thing, and they're arguing, and she gets in the conga line. He doesn't want to dance, whatever, and then the music. And you see Bernie walk across the screen, bob his fucking head, and she grabs his waist, and he just kind of leads the line. Then he fights the guy, dead. Fights the guy. Guy takes off. Ends up on the beach with this chick. She wakes up. He plops down because the music stops, and then kind of like folds over and then lays down. And she lays down next to him. She goes, "Ooh, you're so cold." Like, yeah, because he's been dead for 3 years. It's great.
That's the thing that cracks me up about the second one. Like,
yeah,
like the first one, it was already pushing the line.
Yeah,
it was already pushing the
second
line.
One,
just like this guy,
we can take this further.
There's no level of embalming where this guy doesn't just stink to high hell.
They're decomposed completely because
right.
I mean, they take place. I think even in the movie they mentioned it's a couple of years later.
Right. Yeah. And then the second one, it's just like, how is he still not what? Yeah. It's I love
Movie,
him.
man. It's a movie.
I do love him. Like it's like, yeah, it's the suspension of disbelief is strong. but they do
All
it.
right.
They nail it. So mine, I'm gonna go with Summer School. It's not so much even a vacation movie, but it is summer school.
Right.
So I don't know if you ever had to go. I only had to go one time.
I never did. My younger sister had to go, and I remember it was kind of a pain in the ass.
And
it sucked for her.
It was a pain in the ass. And they made no bones about the fact that it was punishment.
Yeah.
So it was like all the degenerates from the school year. And the way that it went was there was no summer school at my school. So it was.
So you had to go to a different school?
Yep. I had to go to one of the neighboring districts school. And they hosted summer school for like 4 districts.
Oh, wow. So you were in there with people you had no fucking idea about.
So yeah, we had it was just the degenerates from 4 districts all hanging out. I will say this, my summer school teacher was a pretty cool dude. He was a chemistry teacher teaching biology. So he literally just walked us through, make sure that we could pass the test. That's it. Like everybody else, all the administrators were like, yeah, you're here because you fucked up. But that guy was just like, let's get you past this, or get you to pass this test, huh? And then fucking he's just like, oh, I've got this chemistry experiment that I want to show you. Like it was fucking weird. But it was always there was breaks because it was like 2.5 hours of one class. So there's breaks, and it was just this mass exodus, this like flood of cigarette smokers.
Oh yeah.
That would have to cross the street because there's no smoking on school property. Yeah. And but it was, it was an experience. Not one that I ever wanted to repeat, and I didn't.
Yeah, I never did summer school, but I did Saturday school, like breakfast club type shit.
Right.
Yeah, but I never did summer school.
But this movie in particular, like Mark Harmon used to be great at comedy, and now he's just super serious with a stupid NCIS show.
Right.
But like this movie in particular, it was Jesus Christ, I only remember one of them's named Chainsaw. I can't remember the other one. I think it's Chainsaw and Dave. But
sounds
the two,
right.
Yeah. Those guys, because I've been into horror movies since I was really, really young. And that movie would always come on, and it's the end.
We got a lot of that coming up, by the way.
Yeah. But the towards the end of the movie, when they staged the crazy murder scene, because Chainsaw and Dave they're horror movie kids, and they want to do horror movies when they grow up. So they do all the special effects makeup, and they make everybody look like they're dead. And so the new teacher comes in, and if everybody freaks the fuck out.
So this one that you're talking about kind of bleeds into next month.
A little bit. It does.
It's a nice blend though.
Kind of. Yeah. It's not so much back to school as much as it's just summer school, but it takes place. It's California. It's on a beach. Like Mark Harmon is, I think he's a gym teacher originally, like a gym teacher or a driver's ed teacher. And yeah, he gets, if he wants tenure, I think he has to do the summer school, and he doesn't want to do it. The only reason he became a teacher is so he could have the summers off so he could surf. So he's just constantly out on the beach with the kids, like trying to finagle a lesson into a surf trip, really.
which is the perfect.
Yeah.
It totally. Yeah. I take it back. I didn't watch it because, I've seen it before, but it's been a long time. But I didn't watch it in this because I didn't classify it as a quote unquote beach movie.
Right. Like the beach is there. It's not a feature.
It's part of the
backdrop.
Yeah, it's the backdrop. Yeah.
It's the feeling. It's fucking Southern California, boardwalks, all that stuff. I think it's near Venice, maybe. But it's just I watched the shit out of this. I found this. There was I don't know if I've ever mentioned my local comic book shop when I was in Poughkeepsie, and it would they had like used VHS tapes. Like
Mhm.
after DVDs came on the scene, people would just go in and they'd sell their VHS tapes so they could, whatever, they'd get them like a, buck or two for them, maybe five. And then actually, no, it couldn't have been, probably 50 cents, honestly, because I was buying them for $2 off
Right.
of them.
They got to make money.
Right. So yeah, like Summer School is there, and I was like, holy shit. And I hadn't seen the movie. I could have swore I hadn't seen that movie in 15 years. Then, like, it was super, just like obscure, like, and I talk about it now, and I know a lot of people my age who's never even seen it.
Yeah.
Like, even after explaining it, they're not mistaking the word, like the name or anything like that. They like just,
I remember it was on
honestly
HBO
never
a
seen
lot, like 10 years ago.
probably.
It was one of those like before HBO had a streaming service.
Sure.
They
I think
had
it's on Amazon Prime right now.
It probably is.
It's one of those, like, the cheaper movies that not a lot of people talk about. It's
Yeah.
not one of the ones that's not one of the most highly regarded
It's funny. It's good.
summer comedy movies. Yeah. But I just always like it to me, it was mostly the Chainsaw and Dave guys. Like, there's a lot of fun in that. A lot of fun in that movie anyway. But
thinking
like,
back on it,
yeah,
the beach did have a little more to play in it than I took into account.
I mean, it was always there.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it was, whatever they weren't in the classroom, they were generally out on the beach.
Earlier, what I said, I probably should have watched it. It might have made my list.
I mean, it's,
because I remember enjoying it the last time I watched
it's fairly obscure.
Yeah.
Something I watched a lot when it was on, because it was on TV a lot as a kid. And yeah, always loved that the crazy SFX scene where
that was probably died. One that was on Pix11 quite a bit too.
I believe so. It's probably where if I'm not mistaken, that's where I watched it most of the time, because there was a big chunk of my childhood we didn't have cable, so it was just if it was on WPIX, that was it. What's your next?
Oh shit, caught me off guard there.
Got you, bitch.
Gotcha. Number 4. I'm gonna go. So I thought of one that I watched late last night, so I'm having to kind of like reshuffle my list a little bit, because when I made my list this morning, I was like, yeah, no, and then I'm kind of going back on my word now. Number 4, I'm gonna put Summer Rental. John Candy vehicle. Lesser known, kind of a all like semi-culty.
Yeah, it's definitely it's one of the earlier Candy movies.
Yeah, it's like 85, I think, is when it came out. Hilarious, dude. Rip Torn as Scully is probably one of my favorite summer characters of all time. He's fucking awesome in it. Like, the family goes to this fancy restaurant and John Candy got sunburnt. They're standing in line, waiting forever, try to get a table. Local guy, Daddy Warbucks type, comes in, walks ahead of them, and John Candy's like, I thought you didn't take reservations. He's like, yeah, but for him we do. And then they want lobsters, all 5 of them, the whole family. And so the rich guy got their table. He's pissed because then they decide they're all having lobster, take all the lobsters, and he's like, fuck it, we're going somewhere else. They end up at Scully's place. Barnacle is the name of the restaurant. And they sit down, and the little girl goes, this place sucks. I fucking lost it, because that would have been me when I was a kid. Like, fuck this place. So they ask what Scully recommends, and he says Scully's catch of the day, and it's just frozen fish sticks, even though he says it's lightly breaded grouper, golden brown. Then John Candy's trying to bond with his son, so he tries to take him sailing, fucks the rich guy's boat up, blah blah blah. Scully has to teach him how to sail again because he hadn't sailed since he was a teenager, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Slapstick. The neighbor chick at the beach house, which the first beach house they think is theirs, not actually theirs, have to move it out. And of course, John Candy, as he's coming back in because he forgot his Noxzema and his daughter, on his way out, grabs the dog food bag, busts all over the place. He falls down. It's just a fucking,
Yeah.
it's so funny. If you've never seen that movie, please go back and watch it because you will laugh your ass off. And you will, if you had any wonder why so many people miss John Candy's comedy, you'll see it in this. This and Great Outdoors, hand in hand.
I miss him so much. He
Oh,
was
he
so
was
good.
so great. I
And,
remember
yeah,
being
and it,
so fucking bummed when he passed. It was
his
awful.
his especially like his lead roles
Mhm.
are fantastic, but his bit roles
Yeah.
are
Vacation.
legendary.
The first Vacation.
First Vacation movie.
Yeah.
Home Alone. Like he does bit roles so well. Like
Yeah.
he packs a whole movie worth of a lead character into whatever 5-10 minutes he's on screen as a bit role. It's he's missed.
Oh, and I meant to mention this, and then I started talking more about the movie. The neighbor at the second house that they realize is there's the dump, and it's public beach access, and everybody's walking by the window, and they're trying to have breakfast. The redheaded kid puts his face up on the glass, and John Candy smacks it with the fucking fly swatter.
Yeah.
And then the neighbor, she's like, "Hey, come over for some lemonade," and she's like, "Well, you have good vision if you're, in the command center of the fucking airport." Shows him her fake tits, and then her husband comes walking down. He's like, "Did you tell her they're perfect?" He's like, just test them out. It's so fucking funny. Anyways, all right, you're number 4.
My number 4 is the exception to the lake rule that you had said.
Okay.
And it's older now, but it's not that old compared to a lot of these. Is American Pie 2.
Ooh.
Like it does it hammers home the vacation feel.
Yeah.
Like, and like we were talking about
consideration, I kind of feel bad.
Like we were talking about the concept of packing up at the end of school and just fucking off for like a whole summer. And mind you, it was a much like a kind of like they're older. The main characters are older and stuff like that. Still not adults yet, but they got to get a job in order to pay for the house and stuff like that. And it's and all the the typical American Pie shenanigans that ensue. But it always inspired me to try and pull off a caper like that. I always tried to get my friends just be like, "Yo, let's fucking American Pie 2 this shit. Let's go fucking up to Lake George."
Yeah.
Let's go up to Lake George, rent a fucking cabin or whatever. And we don't even have to do it for the whole goddamn summer. Just like 2 weeks. We're kids. Like, what do we got to do?
Yeah.
And everybody was just like, no. I'm like, what are you fucking, and it also is indicative of the time where after so many years of people renting hotel rooms and rental cars and shit like that under false names with cash, and like fucking it all up. It's very difficult.
Which
for
is
teenagers.
why now you can't rent many.
Right. I was gonna say, like, it's very difficult for teenagers to rent anything.
Yeah. Now what's
even
the
if you
age
pay up
now
front
in a hotel? I think it's 19. You have to.
I don't know. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. But it's
well, you have to be like 25 to rent a car, I think.
Yeah. But so it never worked out. But I always wanted to do it. It looked like so much fun. I like I always love getting into the trenches with my buddies and whatever, solidifying the friendship and shit like that. And it's a good way to do it because at some point in a situation like that, bonds are going to be tested.
Yeah.
You almost never spend that much time with your good friends. But yeah, I just think it does the
it is possible
thing.
to spend too much time with your good friends.
Oh yeah.
In that kind of setting, for sure.
Absolutely.
I would probably strangle a few people, not to death, but just like enough to like show that I'm serious.
Yeah.
My number 3 is another good sailing is involved in it. One Crazy Summer. John Cusack, America's Sweetheart. Demi Moore, another one of America's Sweetheart. And personal Sweetheart, in my opinion, Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh yeah,
He
Bobcat
is so
at his-
fucking peak,
yeah,
or
That's a-
almost
that's-
peak. He's not even
that's
quite
peak.
peak.
wild man Bobcat, and that's yeah. That's also my number 3 as well.
Him in the fucking Godzilla suit.
Yeah.
Get it off. God damn it. Oh my god. And then he goes to the fucking maestro from Seinfeld.
Mhm.
Well, his dad owns the house, but he, and he was the the teacher in the Twisted Sister videos.
Yep.
Anyways, he's trying to build this state compound type thing. And Bobcat's in the fucking Godzilla suit, and he's stepping on all the little miniatures.
And they've got all the Japanese investors there, dude.
And they're like, "This is hilarious."
The Savage Steve Holland movies alone, just the 2.
Yeah,
I mean, like they're mint.
Yeah.
And Better Off Dead's not going to find its way on this list because it has nothing to do with beaches
Right.
or summer. But the combination of John Cusack and Curtis Armstrong.
yeah, Curtis Armstrong, Joel Murray, Bill, and
Jesus. And then and Bob
Brian's brother.
And then it just the cartoonishness of these movies that aren't the cartoons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's because that's the Savage Steve Holland ways with the animation interludes. But like the cartoonishness of the movie itself with the fucking the rabid dolphin filming, or like the Jaws ripoff of the rabid dolphin happening in Nantucket. Yeah, foam. That's right.
Yeah.
Just like, and all that stuff. The girls with the girls that were picking on the shitty looking dog with the cone on its neck.
God.
So the little girl slaps them on the back while they're making faces and they get stuck. Like
the Twilight Zone Pigman thing.
Yep. Yeah, man. And the whole thing. And it's both these movies, both the Better Off Dead and the One Crazy Summer, same exact formula.
Yeah.
Same exact formula. And it's the same formula for all like summertime romantic comedies and shit like that. These ones are just a little different because it's the Savage Steve Holland way.
Yeah.
But
and also I was yesterday years old when I found out that Demi Moore, actually, that's her voice in the movie singing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I had no idea.
And it's just, I love this movie. This is another one where I got the VHS tape from the comic book store, and I watched that thing until it was almost completely dead.
I've watched it twice in the last month, and the second time was last night, and I think I laughed harder last night than I did the time before.
I mean,
because I caught little things that I didn't realize the time before. It was like, holy shit,
gags,
hilarious.
Though, like just like the simple gags, like when John Cusack and Demi Moore are on the beach near the boat, and then she walks away, and then he almost falls over because he's managed to sink up to almost up to his knees, and then he's like trying to jump out. Like it's a simple gag, but it fucking cracks me up funny, every time.
Yeah,
I mean, and every time Bobcat's on.
Yeah, fuck. He took over this movie.
Yeah.
George, that's played by Joel Murray, when he gets buried, and then the fat guy sits on the chair above him
every time.
And he's like, anything but chili. And they're like, George. And then the ambulance guys come in. And then the second time, and they're like arguing over who's gonna give him CPR and everything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's sitting there dying.
He wasn't dead, but he was close.
Right.
Oh man.
The uncle.
Yeah. Trying to win the radio contest. And that's the end. That's the end of the movie. He jerks the fucking phone out of the cord out of the wall, and they're like, "Oh no, we'll take another caller." And then
shoots it with a rocket launcher. Yeah.
Hang on, there's a rocket coming at me.
Yeah. So, just a great movie. And we gotta speed up a little bit.
We gotta roll. That was your 3 too.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is Weekend at Bernie's 1. And I feel like I talked enough about it kind of in the they tie together. You know what I mean?
They do, and it's
They-
also my number 2.
Okay, excellent.
It's
They
perfect.
so real quick, they find out that or Bernie invites the two guys to his beach house for the weekend or whatever. And in all actuality, they found out that he was skimming off the top. So he wants them dead. So they find out that he wanted them dead. So they're like, fuck it, we're gonna, fuck him. And he's dead. So we're gonna pretend like he's alive, and all these parties are going on. Anyways, you get the point. Watch the movie. All right, number 1, Point Break.
Oh shit.
Dude. Another one of my second viewings last night. Johnny Utah, great character. Bodie, Patrick Swayze, what an asshole. But he was like manipulating, so manipulating. And they're robbing the banks of the ex-presidents. The part that always got me, even as a kid, and last night it happened again. Johnny Utah they finally like get to them, and he knows it's him. Even with the Ronald Reagan mask on, but it's the chase scene. So they're running through all these houses and through this little neighborhood and wherever they filmed the Grease racing scene, that little, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so he goes to jump over a fence and he turns around and I don't know what it is, but the Ronald Reagan mask that made me laugh so hard, but it did. And it's just like his face and he's staring and they zoom in on his eyes. So he knows it's him, but Johnny Utah fucks up his knee and whatever.
Right.
Then they go skydiving together and all this shit. And then, the girlfriend gets kidnapped and he's like, you can't tell, even though you're FBI, you can't tell them that I'm a part of this or else she dies. One of those.
Right.
The most serious of movies on my list, but Keanu Reeves, his delivery, he's trying to pretend like he's from Ohio. And it's so California.
Yeah. Right. It's Keanu Reeves.
It just cracks me up. I know he's a national treasure. I don't think he's that great personally, but in this movie, I love him. Bill and Ted.
He's not. That's the thing is the thing that makes him a national treasure is his personality.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with his acting ability.
Yeah.
Because he's just Keanu Reeves.
He's not good. I said it. He's not a good actor.
He did good in John Wick. I'll give him that. He pulled that off.
I still haven't seen it, man.
He pulled that off real well. But otherwise, everything before that, he was literally just Ted, more or less. But it's I love
Stations.
I think I put it on there. No, I didn't put it on there. I think I leaned a little more towards comedy for the most part, but my number 1 is also the most serious movie on this list.
But you know what? It's it's one of the main reasons why I put it on is because I've always wanted to say how hard that one scene made me laugh. Just that one shot.
Yeah.
Him turning
in
around
the mask.
with the mask.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so fucking funny.
Because it's creepy as shit.
I'm falling over dying laughing. It's just huh? I noticed it when I was 9 or 10, I think.
Yeah.
And I was just that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I put it up there with Dumb and Dumber when he's rolling on the nuts and then another one of my favorite scenes. Anyways, go ahead. 1.
So my number 1 is actually my favorite movie of all time.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it's Jaws.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's the it's more of a Memorial Day thing.
Yeah.
I know Stars used to do a Jaws marathon on Memorial Day. So it always reminds me of that. I remember I used to it seemed like I got a tattoo on Memorial Day, no matter how big or small, for a good 5 years straight, where my buddy would come over, and I know it's entirely unhygienic and stuff like that. I don't give a shit. I was in my 20s. But yeah, he'd come over. He had his little kit in a little wheelie toolbox. And I just sit there with a gigantic rum and coke watching Jaws and getting tattooed by my buddy. So it's that's my number 1. My number 1 when it's cold and I'm fucking sick of it and I just need summer to be here as soon as possible, my number one go-to is Jaws, because I could watch that movie all year round, no problems whatsoever. But it really, I don't know, it makes me feel like summer is around the corner when I need it most. And to me, it's the perfect movie. Like
I'm with you though with the Memorial Day thing. That's something you watch. I mean, and you can watch it year round. It's a great movie. I'm with you. But that's one that I'd like to watch kick it off. That's kicking off summer.
Yeah. And it's the in Memorial Day for sure, but then also 100% 100% 4th of July. I mean, it's like that's the key time frame or time period that it takes place in.
I'm staying away from the TV on 4th of July as much as possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I watch the hot dog eating contest and I'm outside. And even that's back and forth most of the time.
Right. But I love it. I love it to death. It's like one of those, it's kind of like, From Dusk Till Dawn is like two separate movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jaws to me is a lot like that. Because you've got like
From Dusk Till Dawn was a mind fuck.
Yeah, it was. But you've got essentially two separate movies about the same thing happening, not concurrently, in succession.
Yeah.
You've got all the build up. Like it's like literally half the movie is build up as while they're on land dealing with the shark problem, and then the second half is all on the boat. It's
right.
Like totally tonally different.
And you see the shark for all of 30 seconds.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just there's like I'm sharks is one of my greatest fears, and then has parlayed itself into a fear of like large bodies of water being in it. I can be in a boat all day long.
Yeah.
I can even in a tiny boat.
But with your legs just dangling.
No, in the water. No,
thank you.
I'm
with you.
So yeah, it's my favorite movie. It's my favorite movie of all time. There's no way I'm talking about beach movies or summer movies or anything like that, and it's not on the list and at the top.
I'm with you. All right. One more time with where they can go to get the merch.
Mudamerch.com, MUDAMERCH. Keep your eye on it. I don't have any control over the pricing, but they do sales like
a lot
every week. So,
at least once a week.
If you don't break the bank, grab a shirt, mug, whatever the fuck, they do everything.
Stickers, magnets.
There's a whole bunch of stuff on there. You could go back to
get a pillow.
The Who Popped, the Who Popped fucking archives of every episode we have has a shirt that coincides with it. This one might be a little late, but yeah,
it's gonna be late. It's fine.
Yeah, but always, thanks for listening.
Yeah, and next month, shout out to the Bahamas again. By the way,
shout out to the Bahamas.
Next month
we're going back to school.
Back to school, baby. My kids are going back to school, and the show
is just in time. Just in time. Yeah.
Get them back to school.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Later.
Bye.